Hello everyone. In this video, I would like to talk about honestly Netflix new original shows titled, let me see, Black AF. Now, my whole thing about Black AF when it comes to, I guess, how the show was altogether, I feel like the show altogether overall was pretty interesting and it was nice. It was nicely done. Now, I will say this is not the only video that I'm going to make on this type of show. I will strongly also make a video talking about how, like, my side argumentatively why the show is like representation of black culture, not like always black and white black culture to where it's always regurgitated where whether it's the everyday stereotypes of other black entertainment or whether it's like a stereotype of, oh, you want black content, let's just play Roots all over again or Color Purple. No, I feel like this type of show, long story short, is about just a black family. It's just a black family coming together and in a way kind of supporting each other in different ways. Now, you do have some type of black characters in the mix where like they basically do portray, in a way they do portray like just pro blackness everything without, not even thinking about like how we could do better or how we can like improve more. But aside from that, it's like, yeah, you have, a mixture of black characters in there. That and also it's just the fact that I don't know, I feel like this type of series, even though it has its own voice of being a little bit dickish or either like characters just basically playing around with each other as a family in a messed up way by cursing each other out or either just making fun of each other in some type of way, it's still kind of, in my perspective, is kind of seen as, again, a productive black family that honestly trying to give new change and on top of that trying to honestly improve more on like just blackness in general and how like black people don't always have to be succumb to, again, like I said before, just the everyday same old. Like honestly, I feel like it's another reincarnation of certain shows like the Cosby Show or another representation of Family Matters. And yeah, the only reason why I make references such as those is because, well, one, the families, for one, kind of don't act all unruly and stuff. I mean, yeah, there has been, again, there has been some moments where in some episodes you see some characters basically make their own life choices or mistakes. The show also, I feel like the show also like honestly touches on the facts of just black stuff in general. Not like everyday, again, not like everyday black people stuff per se on an everyday basis, but of, I guess, like of what we expect the show should like tell us through entertainment wise, but I feel like it touches on black stuff similarly as, like other pieces of black entertainment like blackish and mixedish, which by the way I feel like those shows, the ish shows, I'm going to like talk about in the other video that I'm going to make based off of this show Black AF. But how they do this is just the fact of, well, one, they touch on just black excellence, how black people, trying to show how black people can honestly improve and, long story short, can accomplish better things and honestly like obtain better things. Like honestly, they don't have to be in an area where they're in poverty or they don't have to be where it's always has to be like just some type of stereotypical black violence here and there, that or it doesn't have to be the fact of certain black individuals have to stoop low situations at least all the time to get the come up. Like not all black people have to, do like drugs or drug activity to try and get money, or not all like black people have to do like just basically questionable acts into basically obtaining some type of better success for themselves. I feel like that's what the show honestly brings to the table, especially when it was like that one episode in episode 7 where like the husband and wife talk about their relationship, and then the wife pointing out the fact that basically the father, he his whole like work, I guess his work and career is based off of just storylining and story building, also trying to think about like what type of new shows to make aside from his other previous shows like Blackish and other shows like Ish and etc. And it kind of has been shown on, I think between episode 7 and 6, it has been proven and shown that this man was successful in making certain shows such as that. And she kind of criticized him for like saying the statement, "Yes, I always been your wife, and on top of that, I always been there where you always made whatever stupid crap that you wanted to make in order to, like make a career for yourself." And then he said right back at her after that statement, then look, my so-called crap is what helped us like propel to where we stand right now in this nice house and everything else and etc. And the only reason why I guess referencing that conversation in some type of way is because in a way it proves even more on like my type of perception of the show, that again, it doesn't always have to be the low road with black people. It can be at times, or most, it can be at times to where black people can have like honestly opportunities or try to make opportunities for themselves to honestly escalate more on a higher pedestal and etc. and just become more, whether it be a nice big house or whether it be just honestly what's the word, succeeding altogether and just trying to aim for something where they're comfortable with, like a suburban area, something like that. It doesn't always have to be lavish all the time 24/7. Another like topic that I will point out would be how they talk about black stuff, would be just the fact of the first episodes where dude, but mainly like the father points out the fact of there's this thing called the white gaze. Gaze as in GAZE, gaze as in basically you're like glaring at someone, or you glaring at them, like looking at them and checking them out a certain type of way. He talks about white gaze, and he talks about like how honestly it has always affected the black culture and the black community as a whole and black individuals all the time. Like honestly, it the show brings it a home run even more when honestly one of his white friends or one of his white acquaintances, the father was, he checks him out saying that, "Oh, you're here with your wife, and I see you got a new sports car over there, a nice little Ferrari, or I'm just going to say Ferrari just for the sake of things, and just to be easy. Yeah, you got a little nice orange Ferrari or whatever, sports car." And then honestly, that's when the father steps in and he was like, "You saw how he was checking me out and stuff with the fact of I got this new car over here." That that's him saying and pointing out the fact of honestly, that's just white gaze. And I know I'm going to regret making this as a reference, but this is just a little taste of honestly the next video that I'm going to make about this show. When honestly, the father points out the fact of white gazing over the fact that he has like a new, like little Lexus or Ferrari that's a sports based car, and then some white dude, whether it be an acquaintance or a friend, pointing out that he does have one and he just taking him out hard. It's the fact that honestly, it calls back to me where you had like old 90s shows like Fresh Prince of Bel Air when you had the Carlton and Will debate back then, where in that one episode, Carlton and Will was driving in like Uncle Phil, like friend, I guess like a friend or acquaintance type of car. Because long story short, what happened in the episode was the fact of this white dude, that was like Uncle Phil's friend or coworker or whatever, he basically allowed Will and Carlton borrow the car so they can drive it back for some reason to his neighborhood. But then some cop stopped them at night. By the way, this is nightfall. By the way, I forgot what time it was because this was an old episode. And no offense, but Fresh Prince is kind of dated, so long story short, it's going to be hard to remember certain details or the smallest details. But it's just they drive to this little nice suburban area where Uncle Phil's like co-worker or friend like basically live at, and then the cop stops them. Then there was a whole debate where like Will's talking about the fact of the cops stopped us and then locked us up temporarily or just locked us up in jail and altogether that night because he saw us as black people or black. Carlton was like, no, he was just doing his job. And then Will even protest this and put emphasis on his argument by saying, if he was doing his job, then what were we doing wrong? Because we were going speed limit. We we were honestly like driving responsibly, or Carlton assumingly was driving responsibly. And long story short, it's like there was no reason. He just stopped us and put us in jail, whether temporarily or the whole night or longer, because they were black. Now, this goes back, this is me rewinding back a step, referencing the first two, like the very first episode where like the father in Black AF, he was talking about the whole concept of white gaze. White gaze is back with that episode of Fresh Prince where Will and Carlton's argument even started. Honestly, look, again, it took a one police white dude basically to lock him up and then put him away for no reason because they were black altogether. And Will had a point. It's just the same similar thing as what the father in Black AF like point of white gaze, to where honestly it, even though he was a friend or an associate with the father, it's still the fact that he had some type of white gaze towards him. And he honestly was questioning either how he got the car or something else. And long story short, the father does have a point. It not only started, I feel like it not only started there where you had like prejudice stuff going on, like the Fresh Prince episode that I just brought up in comparison to this episode, but it also just brings up other stuff with white gays as well too. Whether it be like honestly a black man or a black person can't be what's the word, successful without honestly being judged or anything else. And it's just heavy. But honestly, that's all I'm going to talk about when it comes to this video. Please leave a like if you like this video, and please subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Oh, and also, by the way, the last thing I'm going to talk about when it comes to the show overall is honestly the last few episodes. I feel like it was kind of nice because, in a way, I felt like the last few episodes is flexing more on like trying to create black unity and black family togetherness. Long story short, but that's my video. Thank you and bye.